Everybody, and welcome back to Jaraci Up 13, and welcome officially to the semifinals. This is going to be the first game that we cast at the semis. Between myself and Cookies, this is semifinals B. So coming in from the lower side of the bracket, Cookies is the higher seed here, so he has the faction pick second. I'm going to grab, he has the faction pick first, I have the counter pick. So he's going to grab Conf, no surprises there. Sometimes we'll see Cookies play Soban, but I think he's been doing Conf this whole tournament, so that's kind of the expected thing. And it's going to be Galzian for me. I banned Kalash Teeth. Again, I think the answer is sort of obvious as to why I would do that. Conf Siege is just, it's like Assault Cruisers on that map. Very, very strong. And the Conf Carrier missiles are just really annoying to fight against. Cookies bans Torn Crater now. I'm not exactly sure, maybe he just doesn't want to play on that map, but I think that he had picked it in previous series. And then he picks Canyon Outpost for the first map, and that's where we find ourselves now. I think that Canyon Outpost is a great pick. I think it's pretty good for Conf. I grab the Boneyard and Tight End Passage next, so very aggressive maps right there. Cookies grabs Galzian Territories, and then I take Firebase Girl for the ace match. Just don't like it, huh? Yeah. I mean, there's definitely maps like that for every player. But I'm pretty sure he's actually picked it in earlier games in this tournament, so... And that is true. I mean, it's such a big map, you know. It's like, air is kind of almost required, though. So... By the way, note the base runner being sneaky over here. One thing that I like, though, is that Cookies is going for this. And I'm never gonna, like, bring a scout out to here. I mean, that'd just be insane, right? But he's not building the blast drones yet. He's just starting it now, actually, so it's kind of funny I should say it at that exact moment. But the problem is, if he builds the blast drones too quickly, he slows down his build, right? He's already got a Soul Chip Fab started here, and now he can start building the blast drones. I think that's actually really intelligent. I always love to see players just kind of actually trying to think about their build and make sure that they're doing things optimally. That warms my heart. Soul Chip Fab done for me, by the way, so it's going to be kind of a mirror here. And Fleet Cap 45 done for both of us. I mentioned that because in earlier versions of the game, you really wanted to not get Fleet Cap 45 if you could avoid it, because it was 250 CUs and it teched quite a bit longer. And now that the tech time is much shorter and the cost has gone down by 100 CUs, it kind of just feels like it's not really that important to avoid. And the salvagers cost pop cap, like, well, they always did, but they cost 2 now, so... You know, it feels like you're not going to get much done unless you get that tech, so that's definitely been a change in... I think this was the most recent version of Jaraci that became a thing. Again, note the base runner, we're going to have to keep our eyes on that. Carrier has its missiles powered up here, but it's still recharging. Well, charging the first one, I should say. First blast drone is done. And, yeah, we've got him locked onto his second base here for now, so we're probably going to fall back into rift mode. Yep, there it is. The idea with the Soul Chips is that I really don't want to dive this carrier. The Soul Chips will actually die pretty quick to that. So I just want to try and stop him from getting up on 2 base, and then go back and get my own eco set up. But the problem is I may have to build quite a few Assault Chips to try and keep this going here, because he does have the defender's advantage. If I don't build any Assault Chips, eventually he'll outnumber me and then take this over, and I kind of feel like I've done all this for nothing. Well, shouldn't say nothing. I mean, I do have ref mode starting here. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's not good. That's actually a big deal. Assault Chips take a while to heal back. He knows I'm injured now. He's going to probably try and jump on this. Okay, this is going to be kind of a tough battle now. I've got, like, I actually outnumber him here, but not yet, right? I mean, this guy still needs to, like, reach the fight. And these two are so injured. I really want to buy time here if I can. Looks like Cookies is kind of going to oblige me for now, though. 2 BDs on this side now, by the way, so again, keep your eyes on that. Actually, looks like he's going to attack now. Ooh, actually, you know what? I kind of like the timing of this if he was fighting here, but he's not right now, which gives me a pretty easy, like, time to, yeah, exactly, do this. Split in preparation for the BDs. Yeah, and he only gets 1 salvager. It's probably not worth it. And now this fight might start, but like my micro is not going to be split on more than 1 location anymore. It's yeah, he seems very sad about that, doesn't he? It's better to come in with 3 because that will guarantee you have a lot more damage against salvagers. Oh gosh, don't fight the skins now. Kill these guys. Ah. That was close. Anyway, it's either good to come in with 3 so that the salvagers are killed a lot more easily, or it's good to come in with the blast runs at the same time as you start a fight over on this side, because that's going to pull your opponent's attention over here. And for you, it's pretty easy. You just click on the salvagers. For your opponent, it's very hard. He has to go like click here, click here, click here, click here, you know. Splitting the salvagers up can be quite difficult, so... Yeah, you really wanna come in with the blast runs at the same time as you start the fight on the main side. Having expended its usefulness, the Space Runner is gonna attempt to extract an artifact now, but actually he will get away with it, so that's nice for him. Looks like I'm gonna send one skim out there to try and deny any future ones, though. Second PC on the way from you, by the way. This is where it starts getting a little bit dangerous. Well, I would say don't get out of that habit. Detonating it manually is still good. I just mean, like, in this case, if your opponent is going to be stuck microing, you can sort of just, like, control-click on whichever one is in the middle and then go back and start microing the army, because you're sort of expecting your opponent to be doing the same. And so the blast drone attack here, even if it doesn't get salvagers, it can actually win you the fight over here, which is kind of interesting, so... Uh-oh, getting outnumbered here, by the way. And this is Cookies who has the missiles and the kind of carrier, but I do have the armor upgrades on him. Oh, and I'm kiting and focus firing pretty well, if I do say so myself. It's 2-on-2 now, and I still have the advantage in upgrades here. And a bit of high ground is going to go a long way. It's 1-on-1 now. Ooh. Okay, that feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. Missile doesn't land either. And, you know, he's just getting up on his 2 base now, but here's me on 3, so this feels really, really nice. And we have interceptors coming as well. Always nice to, get some air when you can. But you see, Cookies, he kind of knows that this is coming, I suppose. That's actually a pretty good read of him that he's getting missile ship fab here. He's sending in this scouting sand skimmer, but I had actually thought that, he didn't, like, have missile ship tech or anything, so I'm gonna try and, stop him from seeing the carrier if I can. Fight over here can't be win, by the way, but it looks like Cookie's not going to push on it. But yeah, I do manage to, or sorry, I don't manage to stop him from scouting the carrier, so I know that he sees me now. And so in that case, you know, maybe this idea is to go bombers and then really surprise him with like this massive air transition, but I don't like to do that if my opponent's already seen me. I tend to figure he's going to get anti-air as quickly as he can, so I ought to just launch as quickly as I can. Because that window might be closing. AS won't die, by the way. Oh boy. I think he'll go down now, right? I mean, maybe he'll actually even get out of range. Yes! Oh my gosh, he survives. Yeah, for real. Not to mention, having Acolyte like this actually is kind of like getting an extra armor upgrade. Oh, hey, nice. Well, I'm always glad to see that people actually watch these YouTube videos I'm always posting. Well, welcome to the stream. Artifact is denied, by the way. But yeah, this guy's pretty tanky. It's almost like he has armor 4. Oh, or armor 3, I guess, because I haven't teched that yet. As you can see, Interceptor's going to strike at the economy here. Missile ship tech is done, right? But it hasn't been built yet. Looks like he's building the first one out of this PC now. And that assault ship kind of has a death wish, but that's alright. Looks like I am going to tech bombers anyway, and I do have armor 3 coming as well, so that feels pretty nice. What do the other upgrades do here? I guess Sentinel's pretty good. I don't really know if rate of fire would do much in terms of the fire rate, though. Because the assault ship fires 4 shots and then he goes into his reload, and then he would fire 5 if he has this rate of fire upgrade. So it's like a bonus of 25%. Well, I guess that's not terrible. But the actual DPS increase is probably going to be something like 15 to 20%. Doesn't really feel terribly impactful. Skim's gonna try and poke in, by the way, but they can see that there's assault ships. Well, I was saying I don't like to commit into like a big air reveal. It's really important to launch the air if you think that your opponent is going to build anti-air, because if you wait, they might be able to kind of get away with anything. But Like, you know, not taking any damage to your air, because on the first reveal they already have missile ships out. So that's why I don't like to wait. I like to just go immediately, and then I can go for bombers later if I feel like it works. I will say though, I'm just really bad with air. That's always been true about me for some reason, so I'm always a bit nervous about that. Looks like for now the air is going to be used to commit onto this PC. This will result in losses, but you know, they knew what they were signing up for. I guess I'll just say I don't feel bad about this at all, frankly. Getting a PC is very, very good for me. Oh, ooh, that was close. Well, I say that was close. He didn't even fire the rocket, but when they're all bunched up like that, it's really, really dangerous for the assault ships. If they do manage to get hit by that missile, they're going to take a lot of splash damage right there. Note the Omega point that I'm setting up over here, by the way. And now it's actually carrier system stacking for me. That's very interesting. Maybe I'm planning on just kind of stamping him out with my carrier. This is pretty aggressive. But I guess I can't see why not. And by the way, getting that PC kill, that's very, very impactful. I might not have quite played that as big as it really is. When PCs are going down, Gonif and Galzian really suffer. Artifact picked up for me, by the way. I do need to be careful to shepherd this thing in, which is kind of funny to say, because these are called shepherd armored assault ships, but actually they're gonna, you know, kill them. Anyway, looks like I'm actually gonna use the bomber to clear this out, and that seems like a good idea because I know that there's missile ships in this area. Ooh, and it hurts, jeez. I love the splitting here, though. And the bomber really doesn't want to drop right now. There we go. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Oh gosh! That's so much AoE. Oh man. There isn't like a huge amount of follow-up here though. Oh, and this is a problem too. If the missile, oh my gosh. If the missile ships go down, there's actually no anti-air, so. That was just like a smorgasbord of area of effect damage, though, I gotta say. That was sort of disgusting to watch. Very good player, this Bozocow. Well, for once, I think they are not wrong. Still, though, another PC goes down. I mean, it's remarkable given how he managed to get the absolute massive, you know, max value out of his AoE assets there. But actually, that was worth it. So, because you know, it let me get the PC. Surprisingly. And the carrier's in here. Looks like I'm gonna take rails too. That's kind of what I need to like help guarantee the carrier kill. But you can see Cookies, I think, is doing like a retire order or something. No, I suppose not. Uh-oh. This bomber might die. The missile ship barrage is actually so good for me here because he's not able to like use his anti-air. Oh, I lost one anyway. I spent so much time killing that thing. You know, you're right, A-Game, but I mean, everyone knows a moral victory is the most important victory there is. By the way, I'm definitely flirting with trying to all-in against the carrier there, but I don't even need to, because, you know, as I back away here, I can just sort of pick off the refinery nodes, so... You know, I'd be insulted if it wasn't true. That's probably a good strategy if you're ever behind against me, is just wait for me to make a mistake. Yeah, exactly. Anyhow, at this point the power differential is pretty massive, so I feel like I can just kind of sit on him. There is an assault ship left. I wonder if I can kill this guy before the game ends. If I recall, I actually have my air units target his salvagers here, because I'm trying to like kill off all of his units before I kill his carrier. Look at this amazing use of base spinner heal. He's taken no damage. That's amazing. Frankly, amazing. Oh, come on, kill this guy. Kill this guy. Kill this guy. What are you waiting for? Oh my gosh, not like this. Okay, there we go. The bomber just get the kill on him there. And down goes the Conif carrier. And indeed, the entire Conif army. Wiped the freaking cannibal heretics off the map. I know, I know. You're welcome, you're welcome. Everyone wanted to see this happen, but... I'm so busy, I can't do this every day. Alright, well, let's jump into game 2.
I can't believe I signed up for salvage.
Oh, would you look at that? Welcome, Warsmith Huggy, to the ill-fated salvage team. Everything will go fine, I promise. I promise. So, game 2 going to be on the Boneyard, as I mentioned. Yeah, I'm too busy playing receiver, exactly. Exactly. Oh, and look at this, boys, I got the good spawn. I mentioned this in the last cast, but I might as well say it again. This spawn is really, really favored on Boneyard. It's kind of hard to argue for the other one. When you're being rushed, this dune here can be quite helpful for the defender. On this side, this dune is just kind of objectively terrible. It's just like a good place for railguns to set up to kill you, so not good. And then also, there's a good change. I assume he means chance, in which case I would watch. And all of you should too. Houston's a great streamer as well. Anyway, this base here is very, very hard to hold on to. When you've got railguns up on this hill as well, like, man, it's impossible, you know, you've kind of got permanent high ground up against you. It's just not like that on this side. On this side it feels a lot better, so we really prefer having this spawn. Normally in DOK, like, the spawns are always slightly different, but on Boneyard it's actually kind of significant. And it's funny because we used to think of this as a pretty good even map, but like the more time goes on, the more we start to think this map has some pretty bad spawn bias. I'd really, really love it if we could make our own maps for DOK, but unfortunately, the technology just doesn't exist. In fact, you know, these maps weren't even made by BBI. They just kind of like fill out of the sky, and they're like, well, I guess we better use them. Because like the technology to make maps doesn't even exist, so you know. It's Riffo first here by Cookies, a bold choice. I just say that because he certainly knows what's gonna happen here. If I were him in this position, I would cry first off, and then I would maybe try to go for like 2 PC, like straight up 2 PC, where you get it before you get sand skimmers. And that maybe gives you an ability to... Oh, he's gotta leave. That's too bad, but yeah, I'll see you later. That maybe gives you an ability to fight the sand skimmer blob that I'm building here, which will slow down the rush at least, and then you can maybe react with railguns of your own. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if you cry, you get like... You lose like 20% vision because the tears kind of obstruct your eyes, but you gain like 80% resolve, so... I know it sounds kind of backwards, but you gotta trust me on this. Excellent missile, by the way. Still though, salvagers could fall here on the main base. The carrier has migrated out, and oh, this guy doesn't even go down. He's down to like 6 HP. Oh, I gotta pull him back now though. Oh! Hero sand skimmer! Ah! Whew. Okay, one of them fell there, I think to the carrier, which is too bad, but... Oh boy. No! Oh. Anyway, the point is, we pull the carrier out when we want to push our opponent off of an area, but you always have to think when you move this thing about what you're undefending, right? And in this case, it was the main base, so I'm able to go in there. Didn't get any salvager kills, but killing off sand skimmers like that, that's actually a big, big deal in this early stage of a railgun rush. As you can see, it's making me confident enough that I can go for a heavy railgun here, which is going to increase the pressure against the carrier. So there it is. Actually hits the salvager first, which has been unfortunate, but there we go, starting to hit on the carrier. And not in a romantic way. And indeed, 18 minus 7 is 11, but this guy does 11 damage per shot. Okay, so I can't like kill his carrier with sand skimmers when I'm armor breaking. I guess that's something that only happens to Sawan. Oh, 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 jeez. Yeah, this is the wonders of rail rushing Conf. It's always very stressful. If you haven't seen it yet, there's this great series I play against Marchwadden, I think in Jaraci Cup 9 for the finals. And this becomes very important, this interaction. Missile hits the skims, by the way, but I still just outnumber him so much that the low health bars are not really a problem. So I think we trade like 1 for 3 there. If you check the units lost tab, I mean, that tells you everything, right? We're trading 3-1 this whole time. This is quite unfortunate for Cookies. Missile lands right between these two. Doesn't manage to get any hits. So this railgun will continue healing. If you didn't know, Galzian units that, well, they all have the self-heal except the base runner, I suppose. And the carrier. But they will stop healing if they take damage. So it's actually pretty important for me if one of the railguns gets damaged to stop them from getting hit at all, even if it's just like marginal damage. It'll still make a big difference. Second PC is on the way, by the way. It's almost done here. I feel like I say that in every cast. On the way, by the way. And then I'm like, why did I say way twice? But it's too late, because it's already happened. Skim's still getting tickled here. Anyway, ref mode is done for Cookies, so he can kind of get away with this, but still, it feels really bad to be taking damage on the carrier like this. Every moment that he's got, he ought to be, like, powering up the healing, in my opinion. But there is always a risk that if you power down the weapons, you know, like, your army can get jumped on, but right now, I would say his army is actually stronger than mine. It's just that it can't just chase up the hill because the railguns can still impact that fight. Oh, and the EMP, first one's kind of a whiff, but that second one is quite a good hit. I didn't realize I had teched that. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, Cookies agrees. He just can't take that, so... Once the Skims lose all the majority there, that's going to be really, really rough. Like, basically the main base just has to be lost at that point, and... You know, at that point there's not really anything to play for, so... So yeah, game 2 is a railgun rush, and it ends pretty quickly, pretty clean. Let us jump into game 3 here. And this is match point now, so Cookies has to be a little bit worried about this. You know, I think I remember what happens in this game. Well, let me just point out to you again that you can win a moral victory even if you don't win a real victory, okay? So it's time to missile ship rush, obviously. Let's see if I refine the build a bit here this time. Ah, good, good. So see how I'm, oh no, I've done it again. Yeah, it's too many RUs. This is not it. Anyway, I'm hoping that perhaps I can, actually, what is going on here? I'm keeping the base runner. Maybe I want him to think that I'm going, like, economy or something. It seems a little bit risky, though. Yeah, so Sand Skimmer Fab's on the queue, but I still think we're gonna be too late with the RUs here. I think the way to do this is like a 3-1 split, and then have, well, you definitely want to be retiring the base runner too. Maybe I'm adapting this way because I didn't retire. I don't know. I shouldn't worry about refining a build that's just used for memes. As for Cookies, note that he does have Sand Skimmer tech done. He's building some out of the PC. And the scanner is being deployed very, very pointedly in a position where it will be seen. Because I want my opponent to know that I have, the base runner out. Because that will maybe tell him that it's not going to be a rush. You can see I'm trying to ninja this PC as well, but unfortunately for me, my opponent is kind of coming in exactly this direction. So, yeah, I'm certainly not adapting, improving, or evolving at this rate. It's 5 against 3 here. There is a bit of high ground available, but this is going to be a tough fight. Oh no. Oh no. Especially if I take it like this. This is not good. Trade 1 for 0 so far. Note that because I'm on the retreat here, he's the one who has the ability to pull one, like, wounded guys back, too. And now I'm going to start moving the carrier over because I'm really in some danger here. But there's no high ground left. Fortunately, he's wreck blocking himself right now, which makes this fight a little bit less bad for me, but... you hate to see it. Plus, the base runner's not here. This can use the base runner heal ability, but only if it's, like, in the area, so... Indeed, you see him try to use that to keep that last game alive, but he can't quite do it. And this base front is gonna melt as well now that the heal ability is gone. I like how Cookies pulls away during the heal ability, like he's not gonna fight during that, he just waits for it to run out and then he comes in. That's, I think, very wise. Missile ship tech cancelled here, I know that I'm in some serious danger. And rift mode starting for Cookies now. That's quite a luxury that I do not have. However, I do have that probe, so I'm gonna or not a probe, but a scanner. So I'm probably gonna know that this is coming. At least I won't be completely in the dark about it. No, I meant it, man. I meant it. But I had to end up canceling it because I was just gonna die if I didn't. So I've got Assault Railgun tech done here. And that will maybe keep me alive for now, but I'm definitely gonna be playing this game really far behind because he's gonna get 2 base before too long, and I'm gonna be a long way before I can get there. Probably the only play for me is to try and make this like a really delayed railgun rush. But it feels pretty bad either way you slice it. Not to mention, not having invested in LDMs earlier, it kind of feels impossible to do it now, because it's just like there's so much need to have stuff on the field right now, so... It might even be wise to like, not retire, but drop these 2 and then have them go over here and mine CUs for me, because I only need a couple of assault railguns and then I just really need skims. And I really need to clear a lot of ground quickly, but like this is tough. You can see, like, as I approach this dune, I've got to be so careful, because if he's just getting high ground on me, I'm gonna die, so... It's not easy to figure out how I even want to approach this. But yeah, I didn't flip the RUs, so watch the counter up here. You're gonna see the RU float. It's probably gonna be pretty bad, actually. I'm just not gonna be able to spend these things. I mean, if I build a heavy railgun right now, I'm just kind of asking to get killed. Fortunately for me, though, Cookies has actually given up this dune. Oh, these assault railguns are in a bad, bad position, though. Oh boy. Yeah, this makes me nervous. One of them goes down pretty darn quickly. I said pretty twice there, that's weird. Oh, but this is good for me. He's actually targeting the PC. I really don't recommend doing that unless you know you can kill it. Because as you can see, like, he could have really just murdered this entire army, but instead he spent too much time shooting at the PC. So that's good for me. Looks like I've actually built 2 LDMs over here. That takes a long time, you know, and a lot of money, but I do have them now, so that's gonna be nice moving forward, but time is of the essence. If I don't push my opponent off of this as quickly as I can, things are gonna get bad. Note the interceptor tech, by the way. Very interesting to see. Normally, like, if your opponent has a PC up in your face, you don't want to get error, but he's gonna go for it anyway. Unless I have 2 PCs, this still probably is a window to do some damage, but once you get 2, the interceptors die really quickly. And that's probably where I'll be going, so we'll see what happens. I am actually building a heavy railgun now. This is a bit of a whiff, but it's always worth a try. If you can land this like right on the skims, it kills them in 1 hit, which is pretty good. Oh, yep, that's what I mean. And you can see it takes another one down very low also. Looks like Cookie's going to use that window to try and push, but this is probably not going to work. I do have a bit of high ground, and I still have the assault railguns here. Managed to dodge the missiles too, which is good. Ooh, this fight's actually getting pretty close though. I'm not building anything, which is quite messy. Uh-oh. Ooh, this could really go badly. Second PC's on the way, but you can see, until I get that out, how much of a disadvantage I have in terms of numbers. I am hurting that carrier though, so at least we're making some progress, but it's kind of slow going here. We're getting up on this dune now. Oh gosh, it is. It's precision bomber fail. Gosh dang. Yeah, this is very unusual to see. But I like the idea. I mean, on paper, if you can get the bombers out and just blow up the assault railguns and the heavy railgun, at the least you're buying yourself all the time you need, but you're probably going to do much more than that. Oh gosh. Oh, what am I doing? This railgun's just being left out to dry here. These skims are not trading very well for Cookies, though, because I have high ground here. He does manage to kill an Assault Railgun, but that can't possibly be enough. Bombers are coming, though, and the second PC is pretty far away. Here come the bombers. Oh, and it looks like he wants to just snipe the PC right away. You know what's extra sad about this is that, like, at the beginning of the game, what I wanted to do was missile ship rush, right? But because I had to cancel that tech, I couldn't do that, obviously. Ooh, nice direct hit there, by the way. It's probably not gonna matter, though. He doesn't have the damage to kill off this PC yet. Anyway, I would already have the missile ship tech, but I don't now, of course, right? Because, you know, I had to cancel that in order to not die, so... Yeah, this feels pretty bad. So it's gonna be ref mode for me. I'm gonna try to go back onto 3 base here. And yeah, as you can see, PC not really in danger of dying. I would actually have used the bomber against the skims instead, but... Yeah, because this damage here is sort of ethereal, right? It's already healing, like, halfway back up. It doesn't take long for PC to just heal up all that damage that it had taken. You can see me bunching them up here, though. That's because I'm worried that maybe there's more air, so I'm trying to make sure that I've got enough anti-air to protect my PC. It's worth noting, though, in the meantime, 15 skims now for Cookies and 12 for me, so he outnumbers me. And I think he... no, he doesn't actually have any upgrades, but... Oh, and I have armor, too. Ah. He's got rating, though, which does make it pretty nice to be able to maneuver around on the field a little bit better. Bombers are in the air again, mind you, but now that we have some missile ships out, we're probably not in too much danger of dying. Do I have the radar guided? No. That's a pretty nice tech to get, but there'll be time for it later. Cookie's gonna be feeling pretty good about having the bombers this time. He was probably very annoyed about that in game 1, but as you can see, he's not quite been able to land like a decisive blow against the PCs here. Has to dock that bomber for some repairs. And here he's found his desired target, which is the main base. This one is not defended. Oh, but it looks like he's out of ammo. Ah, that's too bad. I mean, actually, that's great! From my perspective, anyway. Carrier Systems 2, teching for Cookies now. I'm actually a bit curious about this because obviously he doesn't need this to, yeah, he doesn't need this to, like, fight right now, but there it is. And we got a bit of a standoff here, but this is a very prototypical tight end passage game, I feel. Turns out to be a lot of railguns here. Air is pretty good because the map is so big, but eventually you just have to go for rails, given this terrain. I just want to point out, though, like, sometimes it can feel like bombers are a little bit useless at this stage, but the thing is, even though areas are defended for anti-air, so the bombers will die if they go and fight in that position, they can still get their damage done and turn a fight, right? Let's say we have like 3 railguns versus 3 railguns. We don't even have that yet, but, you know, we might eventually. And then, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about this, and he hits me with a bomber. It's like, well, that changes everything, right? Because, in fact, that's going to happen right now. If the railgun goes... Oh! Barrage is kind of this, actually. If the railgun goes down, then he can fight that railgun fight really, really effectively and do it really fast. So, I mean, it's important to remember that. Smoke is still available, by the way, so this artifact really should still extract. Uh-oh. It's not using it, though. Artifact goes down, actually. Looks like I lose a missile ship over here. Ooh, I might lose another. Kind of a spite barrage there on that Sandskin River. It doesn't actually manage to kill it anyway. Gun the bombers though. Oh dear. Yeah, down goes the railgun, and this bomber is gonna get away too. Yeah, actually, all but one missile ship gets killed there. Honor guards teching for cookies, by the way. This is another one of these must-have techs in this kind of battle because it's a lot of heavy railguns and a lot of sand skimmers. So these are lightly armored units. Several of them bunched up, probably, right? It's like honor guards are gonna really have a field day here. So range calibration comes out for me actually before my opponent. I had thought in game that it was the other way around. But range calibration is really good too, because obviously if it lets you outrange your opponent, that can do a lot for you in a railgun fight. Anyway, Cookies actually has a spot of high ground here right now. It looks like just the spotting scheme is gonna die, nothing more. Note the numbers though, it's 5 to 3 here. And again, range calibration lets me outrange him, but those bombers, like, you know, railguns can't shoot up, so that definitely is a problem. Nice backstab as well. I really like the attempt here. I don't have any carrier armor at all, or power at all actually, so this is going to be very bad. And you can see I'm going into assault ships here because of the bombers, right? Like I want to have some kind of faster response to them. Missile ship barrage is used. I suppose that didn't get any kills though. Salvage going to go down here? No, not quite. So I'll be alright for now, but still, it's these bombers you want to watch out for. The game feels actually surprisingly even at this point, but that honor guard is really the thing that sort of turns the fight in Cookie's favor. Ooh, and this railgun being forward, like ahead of all the other ones, is not good either. Plus, range calibration should really be on right now. There it is. Need to target the railguns too. There we go. And we do have high ground here as well, which is nice. Ooh, honor guard gets his first shot off though, and it's quite effective. My railguns were sort of split firing as well, so. Still though, we trade 4 for... Oh gosh, there's so much happening here. Oh, we trade 4 for 3 there. But the honor guard is getting sand skimmer kills. Both the bombers go down though, and actually, to be honest with you, I'm feeling pretty good about that fight. It seems pretty okay. Knowing that there's honor guards now though, that makes me feel pretty uncomfortable, so... You can see I'm actually going to rotate my carrier out here, so this PC is going to come cover the main base. And I think this is because I know that the carrier can do something to these honor guards that the railguns just won't be able to. Well, not do something to it, but actually not get something done to it, I suppose. The carrier won't die to the honor guards very quickly. So if he can, like, be the vision for me, then I can really have range calibration give me a better value. But it is a little dangerous because obviously the carrier could die, and, you know, it's me, so that's a definite possibility. Yeah, radar guided missiles is done this time. And I have a couple of assault ships out there, too. I was investing in this anyways that I could get interceptors, so it feels pretty nice to just set a couple of these down. They can be a bit of defense against the sand skimmers. One thing that's rough for Galzian though is that they don't share armor upgrades with the railguns the way that Coalition ones do. Coalition AVs, of course, I'm talking about. So, I'm not gonna really be able to like tech into that because it's just it's out of the build path. You know what I mean? Speaking of techs though, we have Rail Armor 2 coming out. That's gonna be nice to get a little bit of hull integrity on these guys. Might make them survive a bit longer in the railgun fight. Oh, this is not good. The honor guard is managing to get a shot off. That's a couple of kills there. Now we have Interceptor Fab done. But I have to actually build some. And if I recall correctly, I don't actually end up building any this game. I think because I was teching a little bit too wide, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, you can see Siege Cruiser tech already on the queue. But honestly, like, Interceptor tech would be good, you know, and be able to, like, chase down these bombers. Interceptor tech would be good also, though. But my army is just looking too thin here. It needs more railguns. Instead, looks like I'm going to invest in Rail Armor 3, which is going to be sad because by the time it's done, there might not be any railguns left for that to defend. Looks like there is 1 here, but Cookies has 6. Yeah, I don't know how well you did in math, but 6 is usually more than 1. Yeah, and he's just kind of marching up here. Now he knows he's got the numbers advantage. Skimblov is really being eviscerated by this honor guard as well. And all of a sudden, the army for me just kind of feels like it's gone. Teching too wide, I think. Just going for Siege Cruiser Fab there was a bad idea. I should have gone for it first, or I should have not gotten the Interceptor tech. But I'm not even going to live to see the very long battle go through. I actually had a base runner with an artifact going out, it seems, but... Game's going to end there at the 20-minute mark. A bit longer than I thought it would take, to be honest with you. When the missile ship rush is botched, normally you just die instantly, but... Yeah, you know, this wasn't so bad. But Cookies will take the game, and we jump into game 4. Scoreline being 2-1 for me. This one's going to be on Galzine territories, of course. This is definitely a railgun map, eh? Let's see what we end up playing on it, though. I actually really can't remember this game. I wonder if I had something prepped here. Oh, look, it's a bot to ban. Although I do kind of want to become famous, you know? Maybe I should click on that link and get all this malware. That might be nice. Oh, look at this. He smokes the base runner before he retires. Delicious. You know what, though? Come to think of it, I think that's the first game that Cookies has actually retired the base runner. Yeah, I think it is. Huh. Typically, he's been going for these BD hits, and they haven't paid off really, right? I'm trying to think, on Canyon Outpost, he didn't, well, he did get one salvager, I guess, but it just wasn't enough. What did he do with it on game 2, though, on the Boneyard? Actually, maybe he retired there, because he went eco that game. Wait a minute, maybe he retired it on game 3. No, because it ended up going down after it picked up the artifact about, like, a couple minutes in. You'll see from me, by the way, this is a pretty tried and true railgun rush, I believe. Well, that being said, it's very, very light on RUs, so I might be planning on going for, like, 2 PC early. For now, though, here's the initial contact, and you can see I'm outnumbered by 1, that is. And I'm building skims too, but he's building skims as well. He's going to be able to continue to outnumber me. So I really want to back away if I can here. As I'm on this hill, I have the high ground, so he leaves for a second, and then I say, okay, I can leave too. But I realize he's going pretty far away, so I'm actually going to come back up onto that high ground. I like the focus on CUs, though, because this is definitely a game where I need PC more than I need railgun tech. And I'll have the money for that in just a moment, once these two drop. There they go. But actually, it looks like Cookie is going to be starting his PC first on the account of him not having any RU salvagers. And that also is giving him the Sandskimmer majority, so he's got a lot of early game power. Well, this is all going to be early game, mind you, but like early game power. As opposed to me, who's going to, like, develop my army a little bit faster here. Almost fleet cap, though. Gonna have to rectify that as soon as I can. If, of course, I notice it's happening at all. That's the first battle. But it looks like, actually, Sandskimmer armor are gonna tech before railguns here. So this is actually me pivoting into investing really hard in the early game again. Really hard into the Sandskimmer fight. Now that I have armor 1, I really want to be taking fights right now if I can. Mobility system is on, which means that it's a little bit hard to track these guys down. Bit of a carrier slip, by the way, as Cookies is rallying his carrier away from the base, but it seems like he's caught it now. He's going to go back. Second PC done for him and done for me. But still, the upgrade lead is going to be noticeable. If you check the resources tab, Cookies only has 70 RUs. That's not going up because he doesn't have any RU miners here. And so he's not going to be able to match the upgrade pace, like, at all, actually. And I may even go armor 2 here at some point if I get the window. We'll see, though. Still, no tech from either of us. Looks like it's rating for me. What's the numbers like? I saw 13. I see 14 here. And yeah, I'm gonna decide to take the fight, because again, I have armor 1 here. I've been checking his tech. You can look here and see if your opponent has the tech or not. Oh, and a bit of high ground too. That's gonna go a long, long way. Uh-oh. Oh dear, they're all eviscerating. Or being eviscerated. You know what I'm saying. Skims fall for cookies here, and now it's gonna be a PC probably on the chopping block. You see carrier systems teching, I like that, but he's also... Yeah, okay, he puts the power into the weapons. If this PC can retire, that would be good for him. Because this one's definitely dead. He might be able to keep the other one alive. Doesn't pull the retire, doesn't cancel the unit either, so he's going to lose the money there as well. Should I stay in further, though? I'm never totally sure. I think in this case I'm going to back out. I've had too many times where I invested the skims in like that, and it's actually kind of backfired on me, so... Yep, Railgun Fab gonna start for me now, and obviously I plan to just end the game that way. I feel like, you know, he's never gonna get the skimmer advantage anymore, because... Well, I mean, you can see, he doesn't have any PCs left. Wow, nice missile though, that actually might change things. Wow, that's a really good missile actually. I can trade out all of the skims at least, but... Looks like I'm still gonna invest into this PC here. Jetpack is pretty good too, though. Yeah, I probably just have to leave here. And it looks like Railgun Fab gonna start for cookies as well. But I've already got mine coming. In fact, there's a heavy railgun about to finish here. Looks like out of this guy. And it looks like Sandskimmer Armor 2 gonna come out for me. He will have ref mode. Now ref mode, oh, he actually canceled railgun tech by the way. He goes for Sultans instead. Ref mode is kind of nice in these scenarios to be able to move your carrier out, but once the railgun comes out, that sort of changes, right? Notice, by the way, I'm actually going to have the railgun target the PC just for one shot here because I'm trying to get Sunder on him. Once his armor is at 0, my Sandskimmer's kill him a lot faster. Ooh, nice step backs though. Yeah, just not going to be enough though. Now that the PC is dead, things are really, really dire for cookies. I agree. The KVK master class, right? That'd be pretty hype. Anyway, Cookies, in a bit of a spite move, I believe, is gonna now bring his carrier out towards mine. And I see this happening. I think it's fun to match this kind of thing. He kills the railgun too, see? There's no point in not playing his little game here. I think what I want to build here then is like a base runner, right? If you don't get what I mean by what I'm saying, it's basically like, whoa. Gaussian air over here. That's crazy. What I mean is to like get carrier power and a base runner to extract artifacts perhaps, and then like just kill his carrier with mine. I think that's always kind of the fun way to handle this. So I'm actually just holding this guy still so that he can kill him. Sandskimmers do deny a bit of like salvagers retiring, but it looks like that doesn't really matter. He doesn't have enough RUs for the next carrier tech, so best he could do with the money here would be to like build a couple of base runners or something, but then the Sandskimmers would just clean it up. So yeah, you can see base runner retire coming out for me. Or not base runner, sorry, production cruiser retire. I'm gonna play this like a real gentleman. Power 2 on the way for me. And that would tie up our power pretty nicely, except, you know, he's already at like half health, which sort of helps. Base runner is extracting also. Houston just fired up receiver too. Well, that's surprising. Well, there's power 2. Oh. You just kind of left it running. Oh, right. Because if you leave, it'll like freaking delete the progress. That is really annoying. I wish that we could find a way to fix that. Note the det packs, by the way. Actually, I mean, it sounds like kind of a joke, but they seriously do good damage against carriers. I mean, it's very surprising. If I quick drop these guys, I can start taking power 3, but it's not going to matter. We get the artifact out too, so we have power 3 in the weapons here. And we should be able to win this pretty easily. Oh, the det pack? Oh, dang. That would have been much better if the det pack was the one that got the kill. Oh well, that will be the series. Yeah, we'll play the cookies. It's gonna be a 3-1. So I'll advance into the finals, and actually, come to think of it, I think it's been a couple of tournaments since I was in the finals. And as for cookies, a pretty good placing, you would say. Let's go ahead and watch the next one.